On average, your food travels 15,000 miles from the farm to your plate. This is an average of halfway across the U.S. to get to your local grocery store. Often in transportation, preservatives are required to keep food fresh, which are not only bad for the consumer's health, but also adds to the amount of carbon emitted. Freight trucks are not required to meet specific national standards on the amount of emissions. Oceanic vessels have no emission requirements whatsoever. But blaming our foods traveling isn't the only environmentally damaging part of our diet. 83% of emissions occur before the food even leaves the farm. The majority of greenhouse emissions from growing food come from mass transportation of supplies to grow the produce. Transporting fertilizer and other farming materials to the farm adds up emissions quickly. In other words, the scale we are farming on is damaging the environment, not just the place. Out of the remaining 27% of agricultural emissions, 16% are a result of processing, 7% are a result of packaging, and 4% are a result of retailing. But knowing about the problem isn't enough. You may wonder, is there anything I can do to help? What can a student like me do? If every citizen in the U.S. ate one locally sourced meal a week, the nation would save an estimated 1.1 million barrels of oil a week. The Guilford website says that the college supports the Guilford Farm as a resource for low-carbon, low-transport produce for use on campus.
It's pretty neat. It's a local solution to a local problem.
We asked one of Guilford's local experts about what Guilford does to help perpetuate local healthy food.
My name's Corey Erb. I'm currently the farm manager here at the college farm, and I've been here ever since we started back in March of 2011. We are the Guilford College Farm, so we take the task seriously of getting the majority of food back to the students and the faculty and staff in this immediate community. Right now we're producing on roughly 2 acres. We started with just half an acre, so in that just over 3 years' time we have quadrupled in size, which is pretty amazing. I think last year 5.5 tons of food came off of just 1 acre here. That's a lot of food, so that's pretty awesome. So yeah, that's a good question. We do use a lot of various techniques. Everything that we do is in accordance with the NOP, or the National Organic Program. We do crop rotation, which is really important in sustainable agriculture. It might be the most important thing.
As a system of organic gardening, crop rotation has many advantages. The same vegetables should not be planted in the same place year after year. It lessens the need for pest control, you reduce the spread of soil-borne disease, and the soil structure is maintained.
You can see behind us over here, covering the sugar snap peas, it's just like a cloth. We call it row cover, and that's a great way to just keep pests away from the plants. That's one of our favorite strategies, and we do that also to season extend, which is very important for what we're doing when you're trying to grow food for a college again and you need to have stuff ready in January and February. That's really big. We use a lot of drip tape and drip irrigation, which is amazing stuff. It really decreases our use of water, our resource use. We do use a couple amendments, we call them soil amendments. We use ground up chicken feathers, and it is a product or byproduct of the poultry industry. So again, we're reusing materials. So we're using the compost that is currently being created in the windrows behind the community garden. Sawdust from our sawmill, we're using leaf mold, the food pulp that comes out of the cafeteria, out of the food digester. That all goes into an earth tub, and that gets composted for a little bit, and it's what we have on this. Whoa! We're allowed to take 9 beds and basically, or effectively turn it into 12 by companion cropping. And the lettuce will grow and be kind of like a mulch for the tomatoes. And the tomatoes won't really be in production until the lettuce is out. We employ about 5 work-study students. You are blasting! It's like club greenhouse. Did you get the mousetraps? So it's really easy to get involved.
I'm Molly. I've been working here for about a year. I do anything except driving the tractor.
We have a lot of opportunities for volunteering. 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 We have a lot work with the FYE classes and things like that. And we have those on-farm dinners every once in a while during the school year.
My FYE lab came out and met Corey, and he took us around.
I definitely, got most of my experience growing for a CSA model, CSA farm. Community Supported Agriculture Program.
Gotcha.
That's when people purchase shares up front of the growing season. From my perspective as a farmer, that type of market's a lot easier than, say, supplying a grocer or a restaurant who's really, picky about what they want. We work with restaurants and grocers who are a blessing. They're like, whatever you got or whatnot, and they really love our produce. They keep saying it's the most consistently beautiful produce that they get. But then again, Deep Roots is never gonna buy really beets from us. So that's really been our model, and our mission is to produce healthful, local food and also build the community. So we just have a lot of delicious produce available pretty much all year round. We pick it the day that we get the order in and drive it in a golf cart, just bring it in, and it can be on the line. We brought food in that morning that was on the line for lunch, which is pretty fresh. That's real fresh.